So I was talking to a friend of mine, and they told me to speak on the behalf of the Kevin Samuels fans, of those who wanted to talk about dating and relationships and why things are not moving forward. And they specifically wanted to discuss black relationships. I can't really speak on black dating or black relationships because I'm not in one. I mean, I've been married to a Swedish woman for the last 16 years. I can tell you that I was married to a black woman for 10 years. And it wasn't her fault, and that I never, ever lost attraction for my black women. And I think that that's a misnomer. And when black men complain, or when people complain about the culture, we're not complaining about black women. Because remember, and I'm just talking from a globalization standpoint, there's black women all over the world. I've met some of the sweetest Sudanese people in the world. I've seen some of the nicest South African people in the world, Jamaican, Caribbean, you name it, that carry different values. See, what we call culture our color. Or some people, and I don't know who's making us do it, are making us call hip hop our culture. Well, hip hop can't be our culture because hip hop is not old, right? I was alive when it was built. That ain't a culture. And then that culture derived from someone making poetry over beats and partying a little bit. And then people saying, oh, that was cool that you had the big chain on. Now try this. Now put that on. Now have the Rolls Royce. Yeah, call her a bitch. Yeah, call her out her name. Yeah, that's cool. That's your culture. And y'all fools keep falling for it. And Dewberry, you were darn right. So y'all fools are going to listen to an 18, 19-year-old kid barely finished high school or didn't finish tell you how life is supposed to be. The music is good, but they can't tell us about life. What are men? We keep letting fools like Rainwater talk us out of our lives. And I don't mean that, Rainwater, and I'm not trying to be divisive, but I'm just trying to get you to understand something, what you're doing. We're being told as men in our 40s to, hey, you're too old, go away. I remember The Game started this. He was talking about a rapper. I think he was dissing Jay-Z or somebody. You 28 and you still rapping? Well, if your vertical cortex hasn't developed until you're 25, and you really ain't got too much to be telling me at first, right? When you can start getting in your 30s, you got some breath. You can do some things. You can lead a group of folk, maybe, if you're not a fool. But if your frontal cortex is fully developed and you still talking about the same crap, yeah, I'm sliding. You my age. You about to go slide. For what? What they did to Pookie Ray 50 years ago, 40 years ago. Then you was a fool. See, the Bible says we'll know them by the fruit that they bear. We can understand if people mean good. If they mean bad, listen, I even flip-flopped on Charleston White. I'll tell you that. I admit that I'm a man. Because I didn't like the rape comments. I didn't like some of the shock jock stuff. But I can tell you this, and it's not a but, because I'm not trying to nullify that statement. He is the real. If I compare him to a Charlemagne, he's the real. Because Charlemagne was supposed to be our voice. But now I come to hear and understand after what happened with Charlemagne is the voice of the homosexual community, not the black community. Everything is about penises, vaginas, and butts. But then it's my brother. It's misguided. It's double-minded. Our existence cannot be determined by sexuality. And when did sexuality become a race? It's an act, not a race. So I want us to reevaluate that and understand that. It's not a people. It's an act that certain people do. Certain people farm. Certain people fish. Certain people hunt. Certain people go to clubs and dance. Certain people drink. Certain people smoke. It's an act. So if the smokers unite as a party, then that's what that is. But listen, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I try to stand on what's right. I try to stand on those principles that are closest to the Ten Commandments as I can. Anything else, I won't hate you, because God is a God of free will. powerful enough to make us all serve him, but he gave you a choice. So that won't be for me to hate. It's for me to try to fix my life and make my life better. But I got questions for you. That's it. And we'll keep talking. I'm going to get back at y'all later. Peace.